watching Stateline Slam Plus across all WIFR streaming channels.
Welcome into Stateline Slam Plus. I am Anthony Ferretti.
And I'm Shrikar Rajendran.
We had a lot of exciting games last week, another exciting slate this week. What was your takeaway kind of on what you saw from the games you were at?
Well, definitely some more lopsided games this week. I think we saw a lot of close ones, but I think this week it's about seeing who's separating themselves into a contender, who's separating from the rest of the pack. I think we got a clear sense of that this week.
All right, let's get going right to it. First off, our game of the week, Stillman Valley taking on Rockford Christian in this one for girls basketball. This is the video if we can get this going. There we go. 14-1 all-time Stillman Valley against Rockford Christian. They've won the last 5 head-to-head matchups. Let's see what we get in this one. RC up 3-1, less than 3 minutes into the game. Olivia Bagg inbounding it. Emma Withers getting the ball there, swerving around the defender for the bucket. 3-3 there. Now 4-3 Stillman Valley. Lady Royal Lions passing it around a lot. The perimeter leading to a Jaden Conerly 3. Now 6-4. Now almost midway through the first, we need some defensive highlights, and they are going to step up here, specifically Daylene Wade. Welcome to the block party, swatting it away there. But later in the quarter, Josie Becker, they're going to find her outside here on the right side, draining the 3. Cards will take a timeout midway through the first, try and think things over. But Lucy Gargani, she is going to get a shot here, working one-on-one. Little Hezzy getting the floater, maybe even a bank shot there. 11-5. Now less than 2 minutes left. Harper Lawver going to go in. They're going to try and get it, but Harper Lawver just gets a tip on it for the block. Now about a minute left. Withers getting the basket there. She was dominant in the first quarter. Shay Ludwig would add a basket here for RC on the, I believe, 3rd attempt. Not that one. There we go. And then right here, passing it again, cashing in on the bank shot. Lady Royal Lions would lead after 1, and they would get the win 57-44.
And let's switch things over to boys basketball for just a second. Dakota and Pearl City went at it. Now, obviously, this was a game where, we want to see Dakota come out and be a dominant force at 13-1, and that's exactly what they did. You see the bucket right there, and one. Absolutely incredible play to start off. Dakota's a very physical team. They're going to get to the basket, and they're going to get there with authority. But that also sets up the perimeter game. Remember this name, Liam Burke. That is a three-point shot right there. Not the last, I'll say that much. But again, Dakota all around dominating this game. Hey, there's Liam Burke again with the 3. And you would think they would go inside again, but no. Again, it will set up the outside shots. And hey, how about another one for good measure? Liam Burke. I mean, he can't miss right now. The hoop has been lit on fire. 3 big shots, and Dakota just pouring it on. And a nice shot inside from Pearl City, but it's not enough. Austin Stuckey with the and one. Dakota continues its reign of dominance over Pearl City. 9-2 since February 2022. They get it done 64-39.
Now we're going in the Nick 10 for boys basketball, heading to Belvedere North. They're taking on the Auburn Knights. Amir Danforth, 10 points away from 2,000 in his career. Let's see if he can get it. Knights would score on the first play from tip. That is Champ Parker, but the Blue Thunder going to strike back here off the inbound. 3-pointer, bang from the corner, says Braden Lewis. Now less than 3 minutes left. Auburn up 11-6, but B North going to be getting it on. Nathan Alexander sneaking his way in for the bucket. Now Auburn going to go show up on offense. Quincy Johnson, Darian Royal for 3 from the other end of Belvedere. Auburn up 26-8. They are cooking in this one, putting up a storm. And now Amir Danforth joining the points party himself with a 3-pointer. Milestone just a few away. You see some relatives cheering him on. Now Rural trying for another 3. It's going to be picked up by Danforth. He scores. That marks 2,000 points for his career. And the Knights would win this game 70-30.
And we'll go over to Galena and Lena Winslow. I guess you could call it the battle of the Lenas in this one, but it would start with both teams trading buckets in the paint. You saw one from Lena Winslow right there, and Galena responds right back, but of course, that's just 2-2. Whole lot of game left and whole lot of quarter left. Ball back up top. The no-look pass to Sam Amaya for the score. What a find. And Galena starting to ramp up here. Now, just sit back, relax, and enjoy this absolute masterclass in ball movement. From the Pirates, the ball just gets swung around the horn so effortlessly and somehow makes its way to Mason Smith in the wing for the 3. and that's money. When you can move the ball around like that, it just gives your team so many more chances. And a good hezzy right there from Miles Mann, drives straight to the cup and gets the hoop and harm and one. Lena Winslow saw a run from Galena and decided to respond with one of their own in the first quarter. Kobe Kearns hits the three, but ultimately, this all was not enough. Another three from Galena, and guess who? It was Mason Smith in his sweet spot. The wing nails it again, just where he hit the last one, and Galena takes this one 66-52. The Pirates right the ship and get back in the win column.
Really interesting game there. One thing I'm always amazed by is you read Aiden Wild's name. He was a big name for the Lena Winslow Panthers for their football team on the state championship run. I just always am amazed they're able just to go from basketball to football just like that without missing a beat.
It's actually crazy, and you see the physicality translate and what they're able to do in the paint. I mean, I think that comes a lot from football and being a multi-sport athlete, so credit to Aiden Wild. The guy is a hooper, and he's a footballer as well.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely things that are transferring. Like when you're driving towards the hoop, it's kind of like a running back rushing in. Aiden Wild he ran wild in that state championship. But that is just the start of our Stateline Slam Plus here. We are going to have more coming up right after the break. Welcome back in here to Stateline Slam Plus. We are just getting started, but we got a couple of more games coming on, specifically some girls basketball games starting here in the BNC.
Let's go to Rock Falls and Winnebago. Obviously, this is a game between a 3-17 team in Rock Falls, but we're going to actually start in the second half here in Winnebago, the Indians taking on the Rock Falls Rockets. Let's see if Winnebago handles business. The Indians would score first by a nice little game of hot potato, and Ida Fager would sink the basket. And the Indians would start the game on fire. They would score 4 in a row, including this nice layup by Izzy Nelson. Winnebago would also score the first 3 of the game when we go to Alyssa Zambrovitz, who is ever so sharp from beyond the arc. Indians up 11-0. Rock Falls would finally score on this 2-point shot by Miley Bickett, but still, it's still 11-2 Winnebago. I mean, it's still a blowout here. Almost 5 minutes left in the half. Winnebago up 15-2. I mean, the Indians are not done scoring. 3-point shot by Zambrovitz to be up 18-2, and the Indians would dominate this game by a score of 53-26.
Speaking of domination, Hananiga on a 6-game win streak. They're trying to extend this against the Jefferson Jayhawks, and they would dominate in this one throughout. Kylie Simpson getting the steal there, not giving up. Got to respect the hustle. They'd come up empty-handed on that basket, but Jordan Dimke later in the quarter would drain the 3 here, and Hananiga rolls in this one. They win 58-26. And we are not done quite yet. We do have a feature this time.